Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor and all glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawahshi, bahasham, Ruach. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect, starting with the 144,000 governing body of the nation of Yahshua, and the men, women, children, and true believers in the name of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. May He have mercy on you in these last days. It's your brother, Yahawah, coming back at you with another lesson from the Cleveland Great Millstone Church. And I just want to get into kind of laying back off the lesson I did yesterday because the video cut off, but the spirit is still there, and I'm going to finish that lesson, Lord willing. It'll be edifying. It shouldn't be too much longer because the precepts that I was going to use yesterday sort of changed because the spirit has changed, but I'm still talking about the way people are. When I'm talking about people, I'm talking about you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans. You are truly sealed in that image of the so-called white man and your Lord and Savior being Jesus Christ or any other God. But I want to let you know it's a reason that you're in that situation. And it's from the Most High. Because he's definitely the one that's got you in that spirit. He's the one that's allowing you to indulge in that wickedness, and then ultimately he's going to be the one to judge you. Really his son, but it's going to be ordained through Yahawahshi, through Yahawah, down through Yahawahshi, and execution, will happen. All right? But this is Isaiah 66. I'm going to start from the top. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that ye build unto me?" Right. And I brought that out for everybody that went to church yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but the day before for Easter, and continue to go to church and continue to worship white Jesus or any other God. The Lord is letting you know the church really starts with the elect, and the elect starts with the men, then the men, believers, the women, the children. When I say elect men, I'm talking about the prophets, the elders, the apostles, the teachers, that sort, the bishops, men, okay, the congregation, the church. All right. And it really centers around Great Millstone and the affiliate camps or like-minded brothers. Okay. So it says, Isaiah 66:1, "Thus saith the Lord, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that ye build unto me?" Question. Because you can't build him no house. The only thing we can do right now is prepare our minds and our bodies for deliverance. And that's a whole nother subject matter. So for anybody, again, that thinks you're going to be saved because you go into a church, well, you're going to be destroyed in that church. That church, all churches all over America is going to be destroyed. And Lord willing, the day is coming where there will never be another Easter celebration in a church, or another Christmas or New Year's or any of those pagan holidays, Halloween, none of that. All the churches in America are going to be destroyed. It says, "And where is the place of my rest?" Listen, verse 2. "For all things have my hands made." Salaki. For all those things have my hand made. And all those things have been, saith the Lord. But to this man will I look, even to him that is poor and of a contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word. So they can't be talking about you so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans. That has to be talking about the elect, the hopeful elect, because those are the ones that are trembling. Those are the poor. What do I mean poor? Poor in the spirit. Okay? A contrite spirit. When you go into that word contrite, it's lucky.
Strong's H 5223. Nache. Nache.
It means to be smitten, to be stricken. Okay? Salaki. Dejected. Contrite. Alright? Basically in a low spirit. Not feeling like, there's no hope or anything, but you feel bad about your offenses that you committed against Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawahshi. And so the next few verses I'm going to read shows you the hypocrisy of you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, because you think you're holier than thou because you go to church, because you went to church to celebrate Easter, which the other lesson I just did proves that Easter is just the Passover, and that was the Greek word or the English word, okay? But when you go look up the Greek word for it, it goes back to the Hebrew word, which is Pesach, which means to pass over, which really means to spare your life so you don't get fucked up by the Lord. All right? It says, Isaiah 66:3, he that killeth an ox as if he slew a man, he that sacrificeth a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck, and he that offereth the oblation as if he offered swine's blood, he that burneth incense as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways. Now, when you choose your own way, that's really the Lord not dealing with you. Because if you read at the top, the people that are fearful and tremble at his word know that everything that's created here is his. And so with that being said, it should incite fear in you to never want to step foot in a church if all possible, and you definitely abstain from all manner of wickedness and abominations, and that includes celebrating all of the so-called white man holidays that he gave you. All right, but you want to do it. That's how you choose your own way. You so-called Negro, Latinos, and Americans, you choose, which really is not you choosing. And I'm going to show you what I mean, but your desire. Like I said in a few lessons ago, if you desire to serve Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawahshi, he will sup with you. He will allow you to sup with him. Okay? What do I mean by sup? Hold up. 1 second. This is Revelations 3:20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock, and if any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him, and I will sup with him, and he with me. And when you go into that word sup, Slack you. It's the Greek word.
Strong's G 1172. Dipneo. Dipneo.
It says supper, especially a formal meal usually held at evening, used on the Messiah's feast, symbolizing salvation in the kingdom. Okay, so that's what you're doing. You're getting involved in the truth. You're understanding through his son, Yahawahshi, not Jesus. You can't sup with Jesus. Because remember, those other guys neither hear, nor see, nor smell. Yahawahshi is here in the spirit. Okay? And he hears, he sees, and they both smell. They can smell your stinky pig dinners you're making. They can smell the abominations on you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. When you commit adultery and you got dong on you, you stink. All of that. The Lord see, hear, and smells everything. How? Through the holy angels. All right? So back to Isaiah 66 and verse 3. It says, and their soul delighteth in their abomination. Now I want you to remember that. Their soul delighteth in their abominations. We're going to look up abominations in the Hebrew. Because abominations is in all that stuff that I read to you, the Lord's letting you know your sacrifices are worthless unless you're doing it in the name of Yahawahshi. Okay? So you people got together and you sat around and prayed over the hog and the broth with the abominable food in it, you know, the shrimp, lobster. You eat those things on the holidays as well, you know, and the Lord's letting you know it's going to be a heavy price to pay for that. But because you want to do it, you're doing it. If you want to serve Yahawah, he'll put the fear on you and you will put those things away. You won't want to eat those things no more. This is abominations in the Hebrew.
Strong's H 8251, shikuts, and second entry, shikuts.
Now it says detestable thing or idol, abominable thing, abomination, an idol, detested thing. So Yahawah does not deal with idols. So another God is an idol, and that's an abomination. That's what he's letting you know. Eating things offered to idols is an abomination. And doing abominable acts, such as men on men and women on women, those are abominations to the Heavenly Father. Okay? Let's keep going. Isaiah 66 and 4. Here's the point. I also, listen. I also will choose their delusions. That's plural, more than one. And will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spoke or spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before mine eyes, and choose that in which I delighted not. So you want to eat abominable food, you want to serve a detestable God, which his name is JC, Jesus Christ, and call on that name. Look, this is what's going. This is what you people got to realize. This is important. This is Acts 4 and 12. It says, neither is there salvation in any other. So there ain't no salvation in Jesus Christ. It's impossible. He's not a real God. He can't save anyone. Okay? It says, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. And that name is Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawahshi, man. So you got to know that. That's a part of keeping you from your abominable acts. Because that name comes with a reputation. And that name represents judgment and deliverance in the downfall of America. Point, period, blank. Okay? Judgment, deliverance, and the downfall of America, and specifically the downfall of Esau, Edom, the destruction of that devil. All right? But back to the lesson of the scriptures. It says, verse 5, hear the word of Yahawah, ye that tremble at his word, your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let the Lord Yahawah be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. Who? the enemies of Yahawah. Who are the enemies of Yahawah? Well, we know in Psalms 83, the Lord outlines who his enemies are, but also 2/3 of his own people are his enemy. Why? Because you choose to serve other gods, eat abominable foods, and do abominable things. It's not hard. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. That's the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. It says, verse 10, and when all deceitfulness of the unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth. You did not want to get into this truth. The truth does not condone eating pork. It does not the truth then denounces eating pork. Let me do it like that. The 100% truth denounce eating pork. It denounces abominable acts. It denounces adultery. It denounces a woman usurping her authority over her man. It denounces everything that America is about. So you got to ask yourself, are you truly in the right spirit, or are you on the path of destruction? Because you chose your own way, which the Lord just told you, I'll give you over to your delusion now. I'll make sure you go down that road. It says, and with verse 10 again, and with all deceitfulness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth. That's how you know you're a hater of the Lord. Because this is what he says. This is Exodus. I mean, I go to this a lot, but it kind of goes with the lesson. It is what it is. It says, Exodus 20:5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. To what? Other gods. It's an abomination. It says, nor serve them. For I, the Lord Yahawah, thy power am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. Because this Lord let you know you hate him because you refuse to listen. You don't take heed to his word, and you pursue after your own desires and your own way, and it's an abomination. It's detestable in his eyes. It says in verse 6, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me. See, that's the truth. When you seek Yahawah and you do the best of your ability to keep his commandments, that's loving. That's how you show you love him. And his love comes with conditions. So you're not going to eat no goddamn pork. You're not going to be around people that eat it. You're not going to go in no goddamn church. All right? And you definitely ain't going to be calling on no fucking Jesus Christ, man. It says, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and what? And keep my commandment. Let's go back to it. So it says, and with all deceitfulness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Here it is. You niggas think you saved already, and the Lord's telling you you might be saved. We don't even know if we're going to be saved. And we're seeking the truth. We're standing by with hope that Yahawah is going to have mercy on us who don't celebrate those things, who don't participate in abominable worships and eat abominable food and do abominable acts. No, we abstain from evil at all costs and seek Yahawah in truth and sincerity. It says, verse 11, 2 Thessalonians 2:11. It says, and for this call the Most High shall send them a strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. And the lie is the law is done away with, and that you can eat that you can it's okay if you call on the name JC and if long as you believe he went on the cross and he died for your sins, you're okay. You can keep eating those abominable things. You can keep celebrating Christmas and all the other pagan holidays, and he's going to still save you. Some of you say you saved already. We're going to find out. The way it's looking, though, a lot of you just going to die here. It says, verse 12, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth. So you're condemned because you pursue a thing like Easter, some that can really be looked up and destroyed with their own AI doctrine, their technology. The Esau, he even tell you himself that this shit is a pagan holiday, but yet everybody still indulges in this practice. And I ain't even talking about just Easter, because now we got what, Cinco de Mayo coming up, and then boom, Mother's Day, right? Then after Mother's Day, what? Father's Day. Then what? The whole month of June is LGBT month, okay? And within that month, you got Juneteenth. So it's a lot of pork gonna be getting eaten. A lot of nastiness and abominations and freakiness gonna be going on. And also the Lord just gonna allow you people to do these things, okay? Because He's gonna destroy you. Because He's telling you, you believe a lie, I'm gonna make sure you keep that strong delusion. You are under a strong delusion. It says that they might be damned who believe it not the truth, but what? But had pleasure in unrighteousness. See, you got pleasure in unrighteousness. This is Titus chapter 1, and I'm going to get right to the point, verse 14. Not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. A fable right now, today, let's look that word up. First, we're not going to focus on the word Jewish. We're going to look up the word fables. Fables are short fictional stories often featuring animals. The Easter bunny, right? And the Easter egg hunt. And that has nothing to do with the Passover. Never has. If you read Exodus chapter 12, if you read Leviticus chapter 23, Deuteronomy chapter 16, Numbers chapter 5, and Matthew chapter 26, you will put it together in the spirit and see, wow, we really are fucking up here. This is what we're supposed to be doing right here. But a lot of you don't see that. Even you, Yah Israelites, you do it to your own understanding. You don't follow the order, okay, when it comes to keeping the Passover. But I'm focused a lot on, in this lesson, just that strong delusion. And that does apply to you, because you don't say the name. You don't call on the name. And your Passovers are horrible as well. You know, they ain't shit but a party. It says, fables. They are used to teach moral lessons. They are characterized by brevity, simple plots, and presence of a moral often stated explicitly at the end. So, my point I'm making on Jewish fables is the Easter bunny and the whole story behind it is a fable. It's not true. But you so-called Negroes and Latinos, Americans participate in it. And you not only participate in that fable, but all other fables, all other stories and plots that are associated with these idolatry, high holy or holidays. It says, Titus 1:14 again, not giving heed to Jewish fables. Not giving heed. You're not supposed to take heed. Take heed. What does heed mean? What does that mean? Giving heed. Let's see. It says to bring near, to turn mind to attend, to attentive, to a person or thing of caring or providing. It's basically saying you're not supposed to give your attention to these bullshit ass holidays, man. Or anything that is opposed to Yahawah. How about that? It says, unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but their mind and their conscience is defiled. And that's what's going on with a lot of you so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans. You don't realize that your conscience, your mind is defiled, and the Lord is going to allow you to stay in that state. He's going to keep you there because of your strong your desire. So with that desire, he gives you over to it. And I'm going to get that. It says, verse 16, Titus 1:16. They profess that they know the Most High. Yup. They go to church. They hoop and holler. They call on the name JC. They have the zeal, right? It says, but in the works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. Let's look that word up, reprobate.
Strong's G96, adakimas. Adakimas.
It says not standing the test, not approved, poorly, unfit, unapproved, that which does not prove itself such as it ought. Salaki, 1 second here. This is the AI Google definition of reprobate. An unprincipled person, often used humorously or affectionately. It says here we go. A sinner who, whoa. Let me read this to you. Hold up.
Reprobate.
It says a sinner who is not of the elect and is predestined to damnation, which is what? Destruction. That's cold right there. This I'm glad I looked. That was the spirit, man. Call Allah Yahawahshi. Let me read that again. This is the second definition for it. Because the first I read to you was just an unprincipled person. But the second entry says, it also says a rogue, a scoundrel, but it says a sinner who is not of the elect and is predestined to damnation. That's cold right there. Call Allah, Yahawah. That's cold. That's cold blooded. Hey, Lord gonna get you niggas. Let me go back to that. Let me read that again. Titus 1:16. They profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny him. And just by participating in these horrible holidays, taking this shit right here, taking your children to church, giving them Easter bunnies and Easter baskets, eating abominable food, practicing nastiness when you get home, all of that, all of it. You deny the Heavenly Father and being an abominable and disobedient unto a very good and onto every good work reprobate. So you're a reprobate. All right. This is the last precept. This is Romans chapter 1. Noah had to get this. And I'm going to start at 26. Because remember, we just read in 2 Thessalonians how he gave you over to the strong delusion. Isaiah 66. This backs it all up. Romans chapter 1 and verse 26. For this cause the Most High gave them on to vile affections, for even their women did change their natural use unto that which is against nature, because that's an abominable act, a woman laying with a woman. And you damn for sure know it was lesbians in the church celebrating Easter and went home and, carpet munched each other after they ate some pig. It says, verse 27, and likewise also the man leaving the natural use of the woman burn in their lust one towards another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. Same thing. Moism. It's an abomination, and it will surely be celebrated here if we're going to be here in June, which most likely we will be. Lord willing we not, but it is what it is. And that all these abominable acts are going to be just continue to go on. This is why America is going to be destroyed, without a doubt. It says, verse 28, and even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge. Why? Because they choose their own way. Like it said in Isaiah 66. It says, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind. So now we got the true understanding of reprobate. Because they're sinners, and they're most likely not of the elect. I just read it to you. And so they're going to die. And these are Israelites we're talking about. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Look, the other nations can participate in all this because the Lord didn't give them the law, statutes, and commandments. He gave it to the nation of Israel, the nation of Yahawah. All right? The sons of the living power. It says, Romans 1 and 28, and even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind. There it is again. See, he gives you over to it. So you really, once you lock in and you choose your lust and your desire, Yahawah bahasham Yahawahshi locks your ass in right along. He makes sure you love it and you indulge in it so he can kill you later. That's the type of power that we're dealing with. Jesus let you, do those things all day long, and then he opened up his white ass arms and hug everybody and let you all in, all stinky and filthy, right? But Yahawah bahasham Yahawahshi will stomp your ass. Hey, I just read to you in Isaiah 66, the earth is the Lord's footstool, okay? Anyway, it says, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind to do the things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, and without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. Verse 32. See, those are all attributes of an abominable person, a sinner, a person that has a reprobate mind. Why? Because they don't feel guilty about doing these things. So you don't feel guilty. You don't have a contrite spirit. You know you ain't supposed to be going to no church. Hey, as long as you can get on your phone and DoorDash food, find the latest movie, coupons, sales, DM somebody to go commit adultery, and you never looked up what's the judgment of adultery, you never looked up what is a true shrimp? What family does it come from? What family does a lobster come from? Can we truly eat it? Even if you ain't in the truth, why would you want to eat a fucking sea roach? That's what a lobster and shrimp are. Right? Why you want to eat a crab? That's a sea spider. Why? Because you have a reprobate mind. And you've been given over to you've been given a strong delusion to make you think, I'm good, I can do these things. But you're not. I'm telling you. The Lord, he's letting you know what he's doing to you. And this is the New Testament. So there's not going to be any excuses for anybody. It says, verse 32, who knowing the judgment of the Most High, you people know that Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by fire. You know this, that the Lord flooded the earth and he killed men, women, children, babies, old, young. It didn't matter because they were all reprobates, they're all corrupt. The 5 cities of God, Sodom and Gomorrah were all corrupt with the filthiness of sodomy, the burning of Moism, abominable. And the Lord brought fire to it. Well, what you think going to happen to America? This great whore, okay, that's got its arms in every other nation pushing what? Abominations. Pushing what? Moism, okay? And so you so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans, you're just playing a part of your own destruction because you love it here. You love the abominations. You love to serve other gods and you hate your power. That's why you call him JC, because you hate Yahawahshi. You hate Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawahshi. So you like Yah and Yeshua, because those names don't have the same reputation as Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawahshi. They don't come with harsh, strict judgment. Okay? They don't come with a masculine feeling. They don't, or spirit. They don't come with order. It comes with disorder and niggas with long ass dreads and women running their fucking mouth doing lessons trying to rebuke the man of the Lord. All that shit is going to come to a screeching halt very soon, Lord willing. It says, verse 32, this is the last precept, Romans 1 and 32. Knowing who knowing the judgment of the Most High. Again, you 2/3, you so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans, you know the judgment of the Lord. It says that they which commit such things are worthy of death. Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. You see? So people who support Moism, people who push you to go to church and say, come on in, everybody's going to be put to death. All of it. It's all abominable. It's all destruction. And the water Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawahshi, he pulled me out of the world. And I hope he never sends me back. You see, your desire will get you in trouble. Your reprobate mind will get you into some serious trouble. And you can see it. So Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawahshi, bahasham, Rachakudash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.